Hello, Nomad Sculpt, and this is a just for fun video. Today I like to block out. So let's block out such a goat. Okay, first I use for this video again such a silhouette. So search for such a silhouette picture for a goat. So I choose this one here and I download it, and then you get something here like this. So I start with a new scene, so we don't need the sphere, so I delete it, and I add again a plane primitive. So in the side view, so I activate the snapping and I rotate the plane in the front view and I validate the plane. So I'm using the mask stamp tool. I explained it in the other video. So first we need more topology, dynamic topology, activate the dynamic topology, and I set a higher detail. So, and then I use the mask stamp tool. Again, I show you here log radius, fall off, flat, and the pressure filter settings here. So let's pick our alpha. So I think this here is the goat. Oh, wrong button. So here is the goat. So check the scaling here, that's not outside the red ring, so inside the red ring here like this, so it's correct. On the left side here, the symmetry we don't need, and I'm using the symmetry to see the center point of the mesh. So now here is our mask. So I call it goat 2. So at the top here is the sharpen option here. I press sharpen. You may find it in version 1.90 somewhere here, or you can tap also on the mesh, I think, with a finger. Okay. So, and here I check the wireframe, so it's nice, okay. But we don't need the whole mask here. So first I lock the front view, and I'm using the mask tool, here the mask tool, and on the side there's an unmask option. I change the radius. So, and I delete here this leg here, I don't want this one. So a smaller radius, and so this is, we only need one leg. So, and I think we use this one here. So it looks nice. Then for the mask extraction here, we extracted flat, so 0, and we can test the smoothness. So I'm zooming a little bit in. So checking the smoothness, maybe like this. And I extract a shell, a flat shell. This plane we can delete. So now we have a nice silhouette, and we can work with the silhouette now. So first I'm starting with a cell mask tool, and here the lasso is active. So I'm starting with the horns. So I'm masking here it like this, and now let's see the height. So here's a plus minus option. So I'm using plus minus like this. And here I activate the smoothness for all. And so the edge loops, I check the divisions here a little bit. So you can control here a little bit the smoothness and the roundness of the whole thing. And so the more smoothness, it's a little bit playing with the settings. And a little bit more in this direction. So I'm happy. So now I'm pressing extract. So this is my horn. So I'm using the front view or the left view. I correct the whole thing, sorry, to this position here. So first I'm changing the view. So I select this thing and I rotate it in the front view like this. And then move origin, bake the whole thing, and I'm adjusting the pivot. So everything is correct now. So then there are no problems with symmetry and so on. So later it's a little bit complicated to fix it. So again, cell mask, the horn. So the settings were okay. So extract, and I'm using now the gizmo. So for this here we can at the moment place the pivot now in a correct position, and let's move it a little bit to the side. Here in the hierarchy, or we can add now the mirror node, so then we see our horns, so maybe like this. So I'm happy with this. So I rename it here horns, and so I change the face group and maybe check the voxel remesh, so remesh the whole thing. So I'm not happy with this remesh, so a little bit a higher remesh. The fine tuning comes later. Okay, so back to the first mesh. So I turn the outline on so we can see it. So I'm using the cell mask, clear the mask, and the next thing is I think I use the head. So I'm starting here like this, here. Oh, it's too much. So here's the head. So I'm using solo view. We can use the unmask option and the mask tool and brush here a few things away. So maybe like this. And again, extract the whole thing. So check the height. So not more like this, and extract it. So this is the head. Okay. Back to the mesh, clear. So cell mask, I'm masking here the beard, extract, and this is the beard. Back to the mesh, clear. So now I'm starting with a neck. This is a neck. Back to the mesh, clear. So maybe here this. Extract. This is maybe body 1. Back to the mesh, clear. Body 2, clear. So now I'm using the solo view. Now we need the legs. So the leg is here something like this, I think. So let's check the side view and the height. So something here like this, I think, is okay. Extract. So this is leg front. Sorry, here I have to rename it. So, and the last thing is the back leg. Extract. Back. So here, maybe here this is the tail. So okay, this is what we got. Okay, now let's start a little bit sculpting. So I pick here the head and maybe the move brush here, the move tool. So here, like this, and the clay tool, move and clay tool. So I'm using now the clay tool and I'm brushing here. So at the moment we have to check the symmetry. Is it on? And for this mesh we have to activate the symmetry. So now we can clay here the head. Maybe here a little bit. It's also possible to use the move brush. And you can always use a voxel remesher. So, sorry, I go back. So the detail like this here, not too much. And for the clay tool, we can use also the sub function. So here, here's the eye socket or the eye hole. So like this. And here I use now the split tool, legacy mode, lasso. So I create here the nose, change the, sorry, I have to select the nose, face group, voxel remesh, maybe to something like this here, and symmetry is active. Okay, voxel remesh, and here change also the face group, maybe a little bit smoothing. For the head, we can again split the whole thing. So maybe here is the mouth and here is, so I call this here jaw or something. Yeah, jaw. I hope it's the correct word. So again, face group, change the face group, and at the bottom here voxel remesh. So for this mesh, so a little bit claying. So this is fine tuning then. And here in the horn part. Here is this is a normal insert tool. Here I'm inserting a sphere, so like this, and I place it inside the thing, and at the top menu we can activate the mirror, so now it looks like this. So let's go on with the other parts. So here maybe it should be the ear, so I trim it away. So and don't forget the symmetry at the top here. I change the face group and I remesh it. So I'm using now the clay tool. So it's always doing a little bit switching between clay and move. To get the rough shape. So now the next part, change the face group. So use a voxel remesh, so like this here, and activate the symmetry. So now clay tool, clay here a little bit. Okay, let's place the leg. So with the gizmo tool, at the left side here you find the pivot. So I place the pivot in a position here like this. And then I move the legs a little bit to the side. And here it's now time to add the mirror to get a second leg. So now we have two legs. Again, the same thing here, check the face group here, changing the face group. And here at the bottom, voxel remesh. So, and again, clay, a little bit more flesh for this. So here inside a little bit more. Okay, then the next part, or maybe let's start with a leg. So I'm changing the pivot, move it to a position here like this, move the legs a little bit outside and add the mirror. Oh, I have to select the leg, so a little bit more. Okay, so I check the face group, voxel remesh, and a little bit clay. So here this part, face group, remesh. So here the symmetry, and then clay. Also the move brush is okay, so move it in position. So the back side here, face group, remesh, symmetry, clay, I think we can move a little bit the whole thing. Something like this. So the tail a little bit smaller. So here also I changed the face group. So and check the symmetry. So wrong brush. So I use a grease brush and something like this. A little bit move brush. So it looks a little bit like a goat. So this one here, I have to change the thing here. So here I check this mesh. So using the clay tool, here a little bit more lips. And so here we can use the mat cap. And I trim here this part out. So let's check the whole thing. So I use the sub mode. Yeah, the rest is detailing. So here we need a little bit more eyebrows here, or lids. So I voxel remesh the whole thing. So maybe we need ears. So I use insert tool and I use a cylinder. So I place it here. Maybe like this here. And add a mirror. So it's a rough shape of an animal, and you can now refine the whole thing. I think it's to start detailing and so on, it's okay. So yeah, I can spend here hours. So maybe here the beard in a little bit of other position. So needs symmetry. So at the moment there's not much to talk about. Yeah. It starts to get an animal. Okay, so here for the legs, maybe I select them. So so maybe I move them a little bit outside. So something like this here. For the front legs, I'm not sure. So so yeah, let's see what we got. I select everything, give it subsurface, and let's see. Yeah, it looks like a goat. Okay, have fun with sculpting. Ciao.